I'm 46. I just restarted my YouTube channel. And today's video, I'm going to share with you 3 solutions which help me on how to overcome these procrastinations. And hopefully this video will help you to kickstart your channel and to make your very first video. I believe that most of us are being stuck, as in we are not sure which topic to choose, having some sort of this imposter syndrome. Or maybe if you're like me, talking to the camera feels very weird all the while because we are not so used at talking an item, which is the camera, and especially speaking directly to the small camera lens in front of me, and there's no one behind me inside in the room alone. Like many of you out there, I procrastinated quite a while, and this has stopped me from moving forward. And thus, I took a very long time to do this video and to restart my channel. If you experience any of the procrastination feeling as well, please leave down in the comments below and let me know. Okay, going back into September 2024, my journey before restarting this YouTube channel, the initial plan was going to podcasting. Since podcasting doesn't need to show my face and I can just read from the script, the notes, and nobody's watching me, right? It seems a lot easier, but there was one time when I do the recording for my test podcast, I find it even weird or even harder because there's no screen for me to do as a reference. I know maybe it's just me only, or maybe I should just switch on a video cam which records me, but I won't be using the video. Okay, the solution one for this procrastination, for me personally, first training was actually talking to the lens. So I did a commitment on myself, talking to the lens 1 minute per take for 5 times per day. I started since 10 October. So I did consecutively every day on this training for about 23 days. Okay, maybe you can see there's a screenshot here which shows all the different days or different takes. Back then when I was filming, practicing this camera confidence, I was using my iPhone 14 Pro Max. So I just lay my phone on my bed and sitting on the floor and just talk to the camera. You notice when there's this green light, green LED light in front of the camera. I'm using the front camera of my iPhone 14. So when you hit the record button, there's this green LED light. So if you can't see exactly where's the lens, you probably just aim for the green dot. You know, when the first day I was doing this video training, I was talking super slow. My brain wasn't working because there's no script in front of me. I'm not reading. I do not want to train myself the very first day like reading. Reading and not looking at the camera lens. You can't do both at the same time. You know, when you're recording on a front camera, there's this screen for you to refer. So 80% of the time I keep referring to the screen. I think most of us will experience that. I mean, going through this stage, okay, you look at the screen, checking the frame, looking at maybe your background, the lightings, the settings on the camera, your hair, maybe if you're a lady, you just put makeup and check all your necessary, whether you look good. But I think these are the secondary. The primary training is to look at the camera, just talk continuously. For first day, I just managed to talk like 30-40 seconds and I forced myself to extend to a 1 minute. It's a promise to myself. It's a commitment. So first day, 5 minutes, 1 minute per take and carry on. And the next day, I will just go on again and again. And about the third day, gets a bit more fluid. I got a little bit more confidence to talk on the camera. I remember watching some YouTube tutorials before doing all this training that you can actually incorporate some smile. Not those very big smile. You can use like eye smiling. And that actually helps a lot. When I review back on the recorded videos, yeah, more pleasing to, if I'm the audience, I would like to have the speaker talking to me with some smile. So I won't feel very, afraid of him or her. Then you can also incorporate your tone of voice. You don't try to go like a monotone, then there will be a very, very boring video for everyone. So after about 1 week of training, from the initial plan 5 minutes, 5 takes, I can now just go slightly longer, like 2 to 3 minutes for maybe 7 to 8 takes. I think this is a progress. This is a progress, definitely a progress. For me, I don't do all this in my lifetime, 40 over years. And I 100% believe that this is will be working for most of you. As time goes and you get progress more and more, on the third week, I started going even longer videos. There's topic coming in without even me notice. I say probably like maybe okay, for the next day I'll be talking about fasting. I can extend my take to about 5 to 7 minutes. So from the 5 takes first day, then the first week will be about 7 takes. Now I can go sometimes up to 10 to 12 takes. Okay, you can try. Trust me. Just go ahead, try. If you can manage to last 10 seconds, just go for 10 seconds. After the 10 seconds, you have more confidence to just move further. 15 seconds, 20 seconds. Eventually, you reach to a stage whereby you can record yourself talking directly to the camera for 1 minute. This could take 1 week, but doesn't matter. You are improving, you're moving forward, right? Like me, I didn't expect to see myself this much of improvement after doing 3 weeks of training. And you know, when you do the stuff, the more you do, the better you are. There's also things to highlight. There's this progression. You tend to progress day after day. We are human. We have mood changes. Whatever food we eat, we also affect how we feel, the environment, the weather. So every day is not a constant progress. It's not a gradual. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down. It's okay. We look at the wider picture, the bigger picture. What you see is the improvement. You don't go for small details as in go up and go down and go up and go down. It doesn't matter. The commitment you set on the very first day and the constant reminder to yourself is what keeps you moving forward. I remember a quote from one of the book. I think it's called Atomic Habits. Just improve 1% every day. Just 1%. I give you an example. If you're the type of person that do not exercise, but you drink coffee maybe. When you want to drink a coffee, you heat up your water. While heating up the water, just do one push-up. The next day, you can just do 2 push-ups. Eventually, when you reach to a stage, maybe 1 week later, you're able to do 5 push-ups or 10 push-ups. So after doing all this, then you keep reminding yourself, just 1% better. After doing 10 push-ups, maybe I can do another new exercise. While waiting for the water to be boiled. Just be 1% better than yesterday for a year. You will be 37 times better than where you were when you started. Solution 2 is to set a deadline. You set a date with a time to upload your video. Okay, moving forward. The start of November was actually me, myself, having to set a deadline. So I'm telling myself to set my first video to be uploaded on the 7th of November, which I did it. And the second video, which I also uploaded on the 14th November. Yes, very thankful that I managed to upload it on the very last moment. So solution 2 for this deadline, for this procrastination is very useful because it's like you book an air ticket to a destination and you book on this day and you need to fly on this time. So this is fixed. This is confirmed. So you are telling yourself you have to pack everything, your luggage. This is the work you done on the back end and you're flying on this day, which means that you are going to upload a video on this day unless there's really an emergency and you have to cancel or have to postpone. I'm going to tell you that when you upload your first video or subsequent video, every time you upload your video, you'll feel this fulfilling. It's like when you do all the hard work and you're ready to present, and these are the results. Just ignore how many views are there for your videos at the moment. As a start, don't expect too much views on your videos. Okay, this is my third video when I restart my channel. So expect that to go even 20 videos or 50 videos. It doesn't matter. It's a training ground for me. So if you set yourself doing videos every week and post on a particular day every week, so there will be a routine. But don't really go into the system or the routine as in how you do. This part will eventually comes. You will know by yourself. I don't have all this ready in front of me. I don't plan it. If I upload my video on Thursday, Friday sometimes will be my free day. I will do nothing else. Or maybe I have some ideas, I just jot it down. Then Saturday I'll do some planning. Planning as in I can start thinking of more script, the bullet point. So the script writing could be starting for me Sunday and Monday. And then after doing all the scripting, Tuesday will be the filming. Okay, I will take a few hours to film. Choose one day to shoot your video. Currently, I'm doing just one video per day. I mean, slowly, a lot of the YouTubers also mentioned that you should do batch filming. I think that's a good way for me. Maybe I can start using this next month. So Wednesday will be the editing, and if there's a need for me to add captions, I'll just add it. Captions, sometimes the YouTube captions is not really that accurate, or maybe because English is not my main language, so sometimes they can't really detect what word I'm actually using or speaking. Then when it comes to Thursday will be the posting day. The cycle will just go again, one more round, 1 week. So 7 days seems very short to me right now. Solution 3 is to do some basic skills of writing. Could be bullet point, could be script writing, could be word for word. Personally, the bullet point system works pretty well for me. When I see the bullet point, then I can do the freestyle expanding. Whether or not you start script writing or some form of writing, I believe this type of skills you'll be slowly acquiring, and it will definitely help you in a future video. Currently, you see, there's a so-called bullet point in front of me. This is the recording. I keep the recording going on and on. I can sometimes refer to the notes, then come back to the screen again. But while doing all this, I do not have the practice of doing pause, stop, record, stop, and record again. I find it a little bit more, time wastage. So the script writing is actually a skill. So it's also a skill. It's the same thing as talking to the camera. Okay, whether or not you are doing the full script, bullet points, or just a little bit of ideas, I think these are the things that actually contribute. Will slowly help you in your future videos. It took me 3 weeks to practice camera confidence. So script writing is just a start. For me, slowly I will get used to it, adapt to it. Then on the day of filming, don't go for the very perfect. You might have a lot of wrong words coming out from your mouth. That will improve over time because we are human. Even if you talk with your friends, you pause here and there, you need time. Your brain needs to come out with the words. So nothing is perfect. I give you an example. For someone new to YouTube, when you press the record and hit your first, you often feel that you don't sound good. You don't sound too good. Your voice is a little bit weird when you review your playback. To be honest, it doesn't matter because how you sound when you hear your own voice is very different. And if you look up online, there's also a theory behind it. So long that your audio is loud and clear, that's the key. What's important is the audience, is getting the information you're going to portray. My experience from the past 2-3 videos, you have to breathe. When you hit record, it doesn't matter. Let the timer just run. You breathe. Then you talk. You don't care about all the bad things. For me, I just hit the record. Eventually when I do all the cutting and the splicing, I only have 7 minutes. When I do the recording, it's maybe 25 minutes, 30 minutes. It doesn't matter because I don't have the tendency of just pressing the stop. Think about it, looking at the screen, then press record again. Then I forget, I pause again and look at the script again, come back to the PowerPoint or do the bullet point, then hit the record again. I think that wastes a lot more time when you have to reach the button here and there and there. And when doing the editing part, as a new content creator, I do not want to bring in too many new stuff because you feel very overwhelmed. So there won't be any music. There won't be much transition. And yes, the editing of this video is using LumaFusion. I remember I did purchase it 7 years ago when I do my first 2 video in my YouTube channel. But if you do not have any those professional software, you can just use iMovie. Or some people actually recommending using the CapCut. Okay, whatever editing software you go for, just go easy on yourself. The content is more important than all this music and transition. Content is number one. The priority is the content. You can have very good transition. Your music sounds very good, very calming. But when the content is not there to the point, it defeats everything. So in everything you do in life, you need to get yourself exposed first. Learn the tricks, fail, retry again. Then keep fine-tuning as you go along. Everyone does the same. I give you another example. When I moved into my new apartment last March, I do the painting all by myself with little to no knowledge at all. After doing the basic research online, then I will just order some paint brushes, the tray for the paint, the actual paint itself. After receiving all these items, I imagine myself, I'm a painter. Okay, not a very professional painter, but I must portray myself as the future. Now I'm a painter for my apartment. Then I started painting my kitchen. Why? Why do I start painting the kitchen first? The kitchen is the easiest because it's a square ceiling. And I only need to paint the ceiling because the side of the walls are all tiles. So I choose the easiest part to paint. So I don't feel, there's a lot of fear going just into this. It's the same thing as when you do filming on your video. Just aim for the easiest so you don't feel overwhelmed. So the first day I just paint the kitchen ceiling, that's all, and I stop. So even though it feels easy, now I have the knowledge of how to mix the paint, how to stir the paint, how to prepare the paint, how to use the brush, how to paint the corners of the ceiling. The 4 corners, even though it's just a ceiling, the top square, you have to know how to do the corners. Using painter's tapes. Yeah, I forgot to mention about the painter tapes. You use the painter tapes so that your paint won't go to the tiles. So these are the skills I acquired on the first day. So after I acquire all these skills on the first day, I will use whatever I learned. Doesn't need to be perfect, and use it for the second day. And the second day I painted my living room, which is so much bigger than the kitchen. And the living room has all the walls, the skirtings, there's a lot more windows, all these. You will have new challenges, just react to it. Just go on and learn, retry, do it again and again. You'll fine tune. It doesn't need to be a very professional painter. So if you relate it into making YouTube video, you record your first video. Then when you're going through the YouTube, the stages, there's a lot of presets and a lot of settings. You need to write your thumbnail and you need to upload your thumbnail. You need to do your title. There's descriptions. If you are including timeline, you have to do all this. These are the slowly things. The first video, you have to learn, you get used to it. You can also do it under the customization. These are the presets. So after doing all this, then you learn how to do the end scroll. There's the small things on the top you can use to include videos inside your video clip, or to tag, or maybe you can have hashtags, everything. So these are the things you experience, you will learn. When I do my first video, I record 4K and 24 frames per second. This is what a lot of YouTubers say. Then I tell myself, I do not own a laptop. I do not own a computer. So currently I'm using just my iPad Pro. I do not have much capacity. I do not have a hard disk, portable hard disk. So if I keep recording 4K at 24 frames per second, I do not have much memory. So I tell myself as a start, I just hit 1080p. 1080 will be like HD. I think it's good enough. Even if you have the ability to just record 720p, just go ahead. As long as the video looks okay. The sound is more important. The sound, the audio is much more important than the video itself. So when you slowly improve making all this video, you'll add one or two elements into your next video. For example, you feel it's time when you want to add some music, just go ahead. Or maybe you can just change, or maybe you can just include some of the screen titles or these text fonts. Slowly, you will have your own system. Your system will slowly arise when the time comes. Doesn't need to go for all this on the first thing, first go, the first video. As the quote from Dina Tyson says, the more you do, the better you become. Learning is a process. Remember, nobody is born gifted. Somebody might be born very smart, but the chances are very, very slim. It might be just one out of 1 billion people in the planet. Okay, that's about it on productivity. I will see you next week.